I read on an article. I'm going to sort the colour and the zoomage out. Zoomer. I read on an article that I have to welcome the people watching this on repeat. So if you didn't manage to catch this live and you're watching it on repeat, it's much the same. I'll be doing the same. We just won't be able to interact. So that's a bit better already. Let's go down here and have a little bit of this. That'll do. It's a little bit more. I'm a little bit low there though. Hi. Right. I'm sorry I've been off the phone for 1 day. I get emails from people. Are you all right? Yeah. It's just you haven't streamed for 1 day. Sorry. Yesterday. Oh Lord. Now this isn't just me, is it? This is not just me what I'm about to tell you, and I'll keep it brief. Why is there a blue reflection? I don't know, there's no blue here. Those screens aren't blue. How blue-culiar. Very strange. Hello, Martin. Good to see you on the live. Right, Charlie. All right, John. Hello, Emma. Chrissy. I still haven't fucking done your thing. I haven't had a lot of time, people. I will do that, Chrissy. I promise you. Hello, John. Good to see you, Sonner. All right, Sonnage. All right, Sir Grego. Son of Max is on the firm. Tricky you coming in there. Benny boy. All right, Ben. Anyway, hello, Glenn. You all right, son? We need 5 players, I reckon, for the new season. 5 players. And I'd get 2 strikers as well. You know, if I had all that money. I mean, sitting in that boardroom, it's like, do you want to compete for major titles or do you want to be competing for 4th and 5th every year? You do want to compete, do you? Okay, well then you're going to have to spend about 150 mil. Hello, Ludwig. Good to see you, as ever. Right, I'm sure I missed a few people, but we'll be getting them in as we go. Did I just see Marzipan? Booyah, Ian, booyah. Did I also see that you spoke to Wolfie? Wolfie's got a bit of time left. Hello, Ray. Always good to see you, Ray. Lovely. Hello, Ray. Flammadiddler's there. Sneaked in through the back door. Hello, what, Tyler? Pleasure. Hello, what's the name? Right, that'll do. The Oi Polloi will be in next, so we're going to... I never know how all that works. Now... So listen, right? I've had to get busy with work. As you can imagine, like the majority of my business is in America. And with 40-year record inflation, right? So imagine you're an American family. I mean, some of you are. You've got 40-year record inflation. So borrowing money is a little bit like, yeah, I don't know about that. Spending money is also a little bit, I don't know about that. Your investments have gone because the stock market's responded and the Fed's responded. I mean, that long term, that's not a problem. But when you're running a business, you can't say, oh, we'll be all right in 3 years. We'll be all right in 3 years. And so you've got to get busy. You know, you've got to get people to your shop. So that's what I've been doing, right? Now, so the old social media, which is my job in that department, right? So that you're looking Twitter, you're looking Facebook, you're looking Instagram, you're looking TikTok. Yeah, imagine my real life. Imagine my working life. I know we've all got working lives. I know we get paid because we don't like doing it. Hello, Eunice. Good to see you. Hello, Mark. But it turns out that I found out that if you put it on TikTok, if you put a video on TikTok, you can automatically make it go on Instagram. If you put a message on Instagram, you can automatically make it go on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Rather than me have to go bosh and post things on 4 accounts, I can post it on one account and it does the rest for me, which is obviously why. And for them, it's good because, well, you don't have to go to Facebook and Twitter. You can just do it on TikTok or you can just do it on Instagram. That's the plan. But then the issues begin because computers don't work very well. There you go. Marzipan said, yeah, I spoke to Wolfie yesterday. He said hello and wishes everyone well. Looking forward to his freedom. Yeah, sweet. Not good one for talking to him. Thanks for passing that on. I saw it in the Scrubs live boat. When you next talk to him, tell him I sent my regards, and I imagine the Scrubs do too. I'll take that punt. So here's where the problem starts. All right, I'll do that. Boom. What's your password? Ah, fuck, can't remember. No, I'm logged in, but I can't remember the password. No problem. Forgot your password? You can change it. All right, change it. We'll send a code to your phone. To my phone that set the account up 5 years ago that I don't have the SIM for or the phone for. So that's no good. All right. What else can I do? Round the houses, about 5 hours. No exaggeration. I got up, I had something to eat. I thought, I've got to do this today. Let's get on it. 5 hours, I achieved nil. Nothing. And what makes that really disheartening is, and I know we've all got, this is life. I know that this is life. I heard a mate tell me the other day, well, look at Mega Essex Boy. That was a great chat with him. I'm not putting down any of the other chats, but something weird happened talking to Mega Essex Boy. And, he's from my kind of manner, but halfway through that conversation with him, I kind of forgot I was streaming. I was just chatting to a mate. I was just, and it's interesting because we've got a lot in common. He moved away so that he could have a better life for his family, and I moved away so I could have a better life for me. But there's a lot going on. But he's got COVID, and he has to work. He has to go and do it. There's no not doing it. So, I just forgot. So that was a really nice chat. And also, don't get me wrong, lovely talking to everyone else, but I haven't spoken to him in a long time. So that was interesting. It was a good, I like the call-ins, Packer comes on, always a good laugh. Marzipan come on, always a good laugh. So, yeah, good times. But he was talking about his work and the problems he's got with his work. And, in his work, if it's raining, he's got to get it done. But he's got the COVID. And we get in these situations in life where you're just stuck. You're the boy, you're the bloke with the finger in the hole in the Dutch fairy story. What do? You can't do anything. Take your finger out, it's all going to flood. And then this is where it gets really annoying. I needed someone else's help. I needed someone to change some settings. But he'd just flown halfway around the world and was jet lagged. And I kept saying to him, I'll leave it till tomorrow. But if you could just do this, he'd done it, still didn't work. Got an email this morning from Instagram. Oh, you've changed your email to the email they emailed me at. You've changed your email. Please click this button to confirm it. Confirmed it? Nah, can't confirm it. So, lots of dramas. Another 5 hours today. I have made a little bit of progress. So there you go. So that's why I didn't stream yesterday. Hello, Nicholas. Good to see you back on the phone. But this is life. Sometimes you have to put up with it. And the trick is, hello, JCAV76. Nah, we're all over on YouTube. What? But we do get a few people in Twitch. Give us a follow on Twitch or subscribe. The one where you don't have to pay. I've got a few followers on Twitch. There's usually a bloke called Jays. He usually turns up in Twitch, but he's clearly not there today. That looks like Ludwig opened the old doors of Griftation. Couple of cocktails on me. Got to hit the road. Oh, Ludwig, that's a shame. Take care, mate. Take care. There you go. Probably off to do some grafting. It's where we all are. Oh, cool. There's a phone call. Let me just speak to him. Hello, mate. I'm working. I can't talk. Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Thank you. Bye. Bye. We're having the old like I call it the ice finger. We're having the ice finger like a water sprayer to go up your bum. That's not a good. Thank you, Ludwig, for that lady Godiva. Out here, in Thailand, you have every toilet has a water spray. So when you've done your bit, you spray it. But most of the times recently, well, the last few times I was in Thailand, I was withdrawing, and that fucking ice cold spray up your zero is most unpleasant. But my missus wants one because she doesn't want to have a lower body shower every time she uses the toilet. I mean, I don't mind. It's not a bidet, what's the name? It's just like a hose. It's like a pressured hose with a little squirter on it. And you just sort of, oh. I mean, it's easier for a bloke, I can just slap my one. It's like, imagine you had like a python and you just sort of put his head in the sink. I can do it like that, but not so easy for a lady. So they're meant to be coming round. But that was him then, and I can't fucking make head nor tail of what he's saying anyway. He thinks he can speak English. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, apart from the fact that he can't. So he says really weird things. What's the thing he says? There's one thing he says that doesn't make. It's like a phrase he relies on. Like people say, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know what I mean. As a younger man, my mum used to pick me out on when I was telling a story. When I was talking about what someone said, I'd say, anyway, he goes, oh, I can't make it. And I was like, yeah, but you've got to come now. And he goes, and I'd sort of get stuck in, and he goes. I'm trying to think what is his. It's a really weird one. Oh, but poor. That's it, but poor. I think he's trying to say but for, which doesn't make sense anyway. But he gets stuck on it. And so I'll say, okay, so can you come around tomorrow, but afternoon? I don't want him waking me up, any time before 1 in the afternoon, basically. And he goes, but poor. And every time I say to him, see you later, he says, what is it? I say, take care. And he says, and me. And me. Take care and me. Yeah, okay, both of you. You and you. So no, not a B-day. Well, a sort of a B-day, like a micro B-day, a micro day, a beta mic. Beta mic. Beta mic. There's a song there somewhere. There's a song everywhere. Where is that amazing song everywhere? Oh, it's beautiful. Let's play a little bit of it. Let's risk it. It's a lovely scene. If you haven't seen the movie Frank, about the bloke who wears the Frank Sidebottom hat, it's nothing to do with Frank Sidebottom, by the way. It's a cracking movie. And the bloke that made the music, when you make a film about a band, right? The biggest problem is the music. Like the Channel 4 done a thing, something like how to make it and lose it as a rock band, or how to lose something. It was about a band that got really famous, got really successful, made loads of money, then lost it all, and there was a counter in the corner of their money slowly going down. And the problem with it is the music is unconvincing because it's very hard to get someone to write songs for a fiction. Do you know what I mean? And the band, they're singing other people's songs. But that film, Frank, the bloke who done the music absolutely nailed it. And I have no I have no qualms about telling you now. I listen to those songs as if they were a band because they're fantastic. It's an excellent band. I'll play you one of them now. Let me see if I can find the one. There's a little scene in the film where he says to him, "What do you sing about?" And the Frank Sidebottom bloke, which is actually Fassbender, he says you can write a song about anything. And there's a little bit of fluff sticking up, and he improvises. He obviously doesn't. He pretends to improvise a song about this bit of fluff, and it's a gorgeous little song. Let me see if I can finder it from you. I'm getting close. I'm getting close. That ain't it, but I reckon in the suggested songs. Let's secure the galactic perimeter, which is one of yours. But I Love You All is amazing. I might play you a bit of that instead. We'll play Fluff in a minute. Check this out. This is I Love You All from the fictional band in the movie Frank. Hang on, let me just get it to the bit where it actually starts. I am risking getting yeeted here. Hello, Hightower. Check out a bit of this. This is I Love You All. It's a cracking song. The lyrics are amazing. I'm serious. I will be putting one of these if I ever appear on the Bard stream, which I think they're kind of doing me out of it, to be honest with you. A change of mind. But check this out. I really recommend you go and see this movie. Go and see it. Get it. It's really good. Anyone in the chat seen this movie? Hello, Sophist. Anyone in the chat? Hello, Dawn. Dawn Browning's auntie had a B-day in the 80s. Her hubby had a big nose, but he certainly wasn't. Thank you, Dawn. Lovely to see you. Always a pleasure. Let me know if you've seen the movie and what you think of it. Yeah, look, Ralph, seen it. Good movie. Stephen Rednecks was behind the music. That's right. I don't recognise the second name, but I knew it was Stephen someone because I looked it up. There you go. The boy Rage loved it as well. There you go. Look, Ben, magical movie. This is so amazing that people are enjoying it. Anyway, listen to this. This isn't the one I was going to play yet. I'll try and get away. Don't forget, people, if I get yeeted, 4 seconds, 4 minutes, and it comes back. I haven't started it yet, Mr. P. Here we go. Check it out. This is I Love You All, but the lyrics of the first verse are incredible. Here we go. Hang on. If we have it with the actual audio playing, it might be even better than what I first thought. I'll have to mute myself.
Nice to see you. It's really nice to be here. I love you all. Stale beer, fat nut, smoked out cowpoke, sequined mountain ladies. I love you all. Put your arms around me, fiddly digits, itchy britches. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.
Now, because it's actually a movie, there's more chance of me getting yeeted than usual. Yeah, there is a bit of divine comedy in that. I'll give you that. Yeah, I think you're right. But some of those lyrics are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, but that's not the song I wanted. I want to play a bit of. It's called Fluff or Fleck or something. Hang on, Frank. There's two versions of it though. There's the version in the song, in the film. Here we go. Hang on. Tuft. That's it. Tuft. Yeah. Hang on. Check this out. This is about a bit of tuft, like a little bit of carpet tuft, and it's awesome. I'm gonna give it a go. I'll risk it, but I'll be lighting up like a Christmas tree at YouTube headquarters. I'll mute myself now. Hang on, because I've changed screens. I'll have to do the audio again. Works well, thanks. £20 a month. Suit StreamYard for not doing that automatically. Here we go. That doesn't sound like tough. No, man. What's happened here? We've already had that one. Is it a playlist? Right, yeah, it's this one. Fuck me, we got there in the end. Good Lord.
Lonely little carpet tuft, a twisted woolly Joshua tree, surrounded by its fallen friends, alone in threadbare woven field, lone, standing tuft. Defy the foot. What age are you in carpet years? Is it spring and you're the first to wake? Or are you old but still strong enough to keep what winter wants to take? Lone, standing tough.
Amazing. How old? It's about a tuft. How old are you in carpet years? What a lovely line. It's really good, honestly. And King Corona said, is that Frank Sidebottom? It is the weird thing. Yes, Dawn, they all are. They're all very Dawsey. That the vocal is on all the songs is that sort of baritone Dawsey. Yeah, without a doubt. But he wears that Frank Sidebottom hat in the whole film. He takes it off towards the end, spoiler alert. But it's got nothing to do with Frank Sidebottom. Like a mate of mine said to me, you've got to watch Frank. The movie's called Frank. And I was like, I don't know about it. Because I thought Frank Sidebottom was crap. As a kid, I thought it was crap. And as an adult, I just thought, I can't imagine that's going to have got any better. And when I saw the Frank Sidebottom hat, I just thought, and then I thought it was going to be the story of how Frank Sidebottom became a comedian and that wore that silly hat. Hey, hello, how's it going? I'm Frank. Nothing. Frank Sidebottom doesn't even get a mention, if I remember rightly. It's a cracking movie and the soundtrack is fantastic. And all the actors learned to play the instruments. The drummer actually learned to play the drums, and so yeah, it's a great movie, and the songs are beautiful. And that's the film review of this film review channel. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Hello, 42. Good to see you. Hello, 622 Messenger. Lovely to see you. Pelosi's portfolium. It will be from now on. Loved Frank Sidebottom. No, I didn't like it. Each to their own. Is that the name of the head? Did he have a son? I remember a mini Frank Sidebottom appear, but Frank Sidebottom was a comedian who wore that head. But in that movie, the lead character, because he's got mental problems, he wears that hat to protect himself from the outside world, essentially. But it's Michael Fassbender. I mean, imagine getting Michael Fassbender in for your movie and you only show his actual face for about 5 minutes in the whole film. It's quite the thing. Hello, Pipe Williams. Good to see you. An absolute pleasure. Dawn says, Ian Marr, fan dabby doozy. I love fan dabby doozy. Love chopping up some pork here. It's been a busy night of live streams. I've got to get back on Telegram. There you go. Bloody Telegram. Mark, hello Mark. Didn't he start his TV career on Saturday Ids? On the Saturday Kid Show number 73. I wouldn't be surprised. Do you remember the bird on number 73, the redhead with the roller skates? She went to our school, Mark, as they never shied from telling us. Yeah. That in that movie, Frank, the bloke that wears the Frank Sidebottom head is Fassbender. Yeah, it's very strange. There you go, Sir Grego. Didn't think of it like that. He does talk though, and sing. You know, I know she went to our school. Was in the same year as my aunt. Was I a fan of number 73? Oi, sausage jockey, you just said about having a double nipple erection. Mate, join the club. Look, I'll show you. Look, they are both. Look, that is, you can tell that is erect, right? I mean, you know, it's all right, man. Just be yourself. If you got a double nipple erection, live it, love it, be it, ignore it, forget it, fuck it. Forgive yourself, forget yourself. Life in a nutshell. Andrea Arnold, look at Ben Holmes' shuffle memory. Do you know the movie Sausage Jockle? Jockle, what's happening with my wockle today? I can't even stackle. There's a good juxtaposition between the mood of the music and the thoughtful poetic lyricism. Yeah, they're great tunes. I might learn that, Frank, later. I might learn it. I've been really up on I still haven't been to that guitar shop. Oi, Mark, since you're in the chat, I was going to buy a new guitar, right? But I'm thinking the money I'd spend on a new guitar, I could probably pay to get my one from your house sent over. Mark, I'm going to look into it, because what's the point of buying a new guitar when I can get the one I love sent over? Mark, can you tell me the truth? Is it in good nick or has it taken some damage? I'll tell you why, because that guitar's gone up in value. Not that I'd sell it, but, you know, I know there's a lot of people in your house and animals and, dare I say, Marijanilla fans. Oh, I like the sound of that. I've been terrified. Well, I might arrange that, because I saw with FedEx, you order a box and they put it with all that foam, and they actually have a musical instrument service. So I might have to do that. It makes sense, doesn't it? Why buy another guitar when I've got one, and it will cost me about a third of the price of buying a new one? Historical Doppelganger, dinner time salute we. Hello, Danger. Hello, Scrubs. Hello, Historical Doppelganger. Good to see you. Ryan Cruz, my nipples are both mutant double affairs. Can you come on the show live and prove that? Not because I'm saying they're not, but I'd love to see double bubble nipple, triple nipple. It's actually quadruple nipple, but the rhyme's not so good. Well, maybe we could sort that out. Yes, mate, I sent you the measurements about 18. I remember. I'm not saying you didn't get that sorted, but I got the fear. I got the musical instrument sending fear. You're not, have you really got double trouble for nipple bubble? Or is it just a Josh? Hello, Aramas. I want a guitar humidor. I don't know what one is, but I'll tell you what. It's funny you say that, because I bought some new strings for that awful lump of wood I got over there. And they rust. They rust because of the weather. And apparently I've got to wash and dry my hands every time I play it and then rub the strings down. Or I can buy some strings that have got a special coating on. I'm sure that won't affect the sound. He didn't send me his nipple measurements. Hello, Barney. It's in good nick for a 3-piece. Ryan, why? Oh, please show us your nipples. You only get it round here. 100 people on the firm. Lovely to see you all. 42 says, Dangerfield, keep me off the screen. I'm sleeping post-night shift. Honest. Emma G might watch on catch-up. Keep me off the screen. I'm sleeping. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, look, and the conversation, the message above that is that. Oh, come on, Ryan, show us your 4 tits. That'll be amazing. Man, hello, Manny Moo wants to know if you're a cat, Ryan. Hello, Eldritch, good to see you. 30 minutes, 1 donation. It's all gone to pot, isn't it? Ryan says get off, but I'm serious. I wouldn't, not to take the piss. I've just never seen such freakiness. All right, I'll leave it alone now. But if you don't, if you're not up for it, no problem. I don't think you'd get the piss ripped. I think people would marvel. I'd love to have 4 nipples. You know, it's hard enough having. Not going there. Don't pretend you don't like it, Lulu. Hence the giggling emoji. Go on, Ryan. Get him out for the scrubs. Anyone else got more than 1 nipple? If any females have got more than 1 nipple, you know, like 2, and they want to show them, just, you know, send nudes. Nip it in the bud. There you go. Oh, I've seen that as well in a raunch film. I saw a lady nip it in the bud. Hello, what, Tyler? I'm sure I've already said hello to you. Hello, Liam. Foot golf's on the firm. The distance from your nipple to your nose is exactly the same distance as nipple to nipple. If you put your head right forward, only applies to men. I might try it afterwards, but I feel like I'm being conned somewhere there. It's too blue, isn't it? This is all too blue. I think that water sort of makes it all. It makes me look like I'm in some kind of technicolor nightmare. Let me sort that out. I can't be doing. Hello, John B. John B. I think it's the auto white balance, aka Blair's government. Hang on, I'll turn that up, then I'll turn that down. Yeah, there you go. Nothing to complain about now. Francisco Scaramanga. That rings a bell. Hello, Frenchie. You've just walked into, it's become a weights and measures nipple stream, but it will become a different stream just as quick. That's the old classic. If your hand is bigger than your face, you've got AIDS, cancer, delete as appropriate. Someone goes like that. Foot golf's coming home. He's a sportsman. Believe him. He is a sportsman. I must say that the few videos he sent me of him playing foot golf, he's actually very, very good at it. I mean, I'm terrible at football. I'm crap at playing football. I'm very good at telling them what to do. And I know how to play football. You know, if I'm watching football, I'm screaming at the television, come on, him on the overlap. Look, he's there. What? I can do all that 90 minutes a game. But put a ball in front of me, but even when the ball's there, I know what the best thing to do is. Okay, he's making a run there. He's pulled that defender over there. I've got a runner coming through to the centre. I need to put it about 4 meters in front of him so that he runs onto it. Lovely. And then I boot it and it goes over there. Also, the other thing I'm not very good at football is when I'm running, I'm running and dribbling the ball. Roll. And I'm running, and then a massive other human male runs towards me going, and I'm not thinking, oh yeah, I know what to do here. I literally just get out of the way, go like that. Oh, foot golf. I think you're the only person in the chat, unless Dave's watching. Foot golf. Do you remember? Well, of course you remember. Richard, did you ever play football with Focus? Did you ever go out and play football when Andy French and all that crowd used to play football? I remember Chip got a bit angry because it was meant to be like a fun little kickabout, and it got What a surprise that a rehab football match every Friday got a bit competitive. I mean, foot golf. Do you remember Mickey turned up, and it was like having fucking Lionel Messi turn up. Mickey was just this little lad turned up about 18, very shy. I still talk to him occasionally. Very shy he was, but man, on the football pitch, he was an absolute wizard. But the bloke I'm talking about, foot golf, is Dugdale. When Dugdale was running at me at about 50 mile an hour, you can have it. You can have the football. Here, I'll just step aside. Keep running, keep running. Awful. Flamadidler was pretty good in his time. Still has the odd game at 51. I enjoy a kickabout, but those rehab people, I was like 2 weeks into my withdrawal, and they were, some of them were like, they'd left rehab like 8 years before and went to the gym every day and were just like monsters. It wasn't fair. It was like playing marbles with a ball bearing versus a flump. Dawn Browning tried soccer. Foul and off is all I recall. There you go. You missed the football. That was every week, though, Richard. You must have just been lazy. You must have just been sitting in the house talking to Steve Mack. I'm just not following the program. The crackhead versus smackheads rounders was good. Yeah, we divided ours much the same. We had crackheads and smackheads versus the alcoholics. Hello, Vincent. Nice to see thee. I don't think they're not called linesmen anymore. No, they're not. Richard will tell you. I think they're just called fourth officials or something stupid. I don't think they're called linesmen anymore. I haven't heard that said in a long while. It'll be something ridiculous like line official. I know it is, John. Everything is. But John, listen, John. John, everything is. What are you going to do? Nothing. Do you not think that this is a dog and pony show? Do you not think that your YouTube channel is a dog and pony show? I think it's a bit insulting when you say for the dumb masses. Because the masses aren't dumb. The masses are actually the people that make history. Because a couple of a few people in government and that they've got no power without the masses. And the problem is if you like I was saying the other day, if we give away football, this is a culture war. And if you give up football, which is British culture, you're just giving up land, you're giving up territory. And then what are you going to give up? You're going to give up television, then you're going to give up cinema, and then you're going to give this up. How do you expect to win a culture war when you're giving it all away? And also in life, you are allowed to have fun. You are allowed to be entertained. It's all right to be entertained, because if you remove that from your life, you go mad, because it's important to relax. This is what, John, this is what communists do to you. Communists done this to me. I don't know about all that. I don't know about football. I don't know about blah, blah, what you do, Well, that's just a distraction from the real, that's just a distraction from the real means of production. Yeah, it is, because I don't want to be thinking about the real means of production all the time. The actual mode of production has already ruined my first 10 acid trips. I just want to have a laugh occasionally. So you have to be a little bit careful. Birthing lines people. Yeah, they're assistant referees. That's it. People got there. Assistant referees. 622's position was always left back. What, in the dressing room? Boom, boom. No, I was wrong, but they are called assistant referees. They are certainly called that. I'll tell you what. When I used to have a season ticket, and you're not going back that long, 5 years, I got shot of it before I came over here because obviously I didn't need it. But it was mainly white working class people up at the Arsenal. It was. You know, people go, you know, it's been taken over. Fair enough. There was with almost without a doubt. I haven't got the numbers, but without a doubt, there would be more middle class people there than say 50 years before. But it was ethnic English people, working people in the terraces. Pizzle, you got my email. I know it was a bit of a ramble, but hopefully the video that I sent you, do you understand? Did from that info, do you now understand how that trick is done? And tell me what you think about it. Don't give the game away though, but you know. No, that's certainly true, Liam. That is certainly true. No, of course, Otto. I'm not saying it's just those. But they are part of our culture. They are. And, you know, you start giving bits of your culture away, you know, I think it's just silly. It just doesn't make sense. When it's a fight for culture, why give it away? Why give it away? What are you going to do when you have kids? What do you do with them? Oh, Dad, can we go to the football? And kids love football because they play it at school, and you know they see the Premier League and all that, and the World Cup, and they love all that. Nah, dog and pony show, mate. Oh, okay then. What are we going to do this weekend? Can we go to the cinema? No, dog and pony show for the dumb masses. Yeah, I know what kids who grow up in those families turn out like. They end up going to Steiner schools, and believe me, you know when you've been Steinered. You know they're weird. They're not part of. They're surplus. John Manimoo says, I think football is more of an heritage is now than our culture. Hello, Linda, darling. How are you? Oh, what happened with that? Hello, Scrub Amigos, says Linda. Cliff Thorburn, saucy stuff. Well, it is if it is. You know, if I loved it. It cost a fucking fortune, but I had a fortune at the time. So I loved it. I absolutely loved going up the Arsenal at the weekend. And in those days on Wednesday nights to watch Champions League as well. I loved it. It was worth the money. Or I wouldn't have spent it. Did Pizzle get back to me about that question? Has we got some controversy? I think Simple is pushing it. I don't know what that trick. Did I confuse the issue? Look at that. Pizzle's on his phone at work. Naughty boy. Charlie's back. Lunch break. Nice one. Linda and Dawn making connections. Lovely. Otto says a Dangerfield hello, Gov. It's gone right over my head. Yeah, but Manimoo, I usually don't. I usually try. I'm happy to sort of correct typos, but I didn't have a clue what you were saying, so I had no choice in that instance. Feel free to try again. I'm up for hearing your opinion on it. There you go. Look at that. Lulu's got fond memories of going to Highbury. Yeah, it was magical. weird over there now. They've just got the facade there, and behind it there's like gardens and houses. It's really weird. Vespacek says the local boozer is our culture. On the little bit of Dartford where I grew up is called Newtown. It's the oldest bit of Dartford. And there used to be a boozer on every single street. And if you walk around those streets, you can see the one house on that street. Like, take my mother's street, right? There's one house that's bigger than all of the others on the street, and it's because that used to be a boozer. And you can find that house on every. There was and because that's what they were. It was a public house. Because why pay to heat your house when you couldn't afford it? When if the whole street went to the public house, you know, you're happy to buy a few jars there, and then they had one fire which was warm, and everyone would go to the public house. Banning smoking from boozers was a ridiculous thing to do. No one's going to the pub for health reasons. It was stupid. Okay, you know, if you're really that bothered, get a bit of aircon in there or something, or some kind of air cleaner. But, you know, I remember my old man on a Sunday, if my mother was busy, I'd have to go to the boozer. And hello, Steve. Hello, Windy. There was indeed a boozer on the corner of every street until no more smoking indoors in public places. Yeah, it devastated the boozers. And even the boozers that are still about, everyone stands outside smoking. The members' clubs in Soho carried it on, though, for a long time, until some idiot, Razorlight, that's the band, that bloke from Razorlight, he done an interview, and he was like talking about the smoking ban. He said, yeah, it don't matter, I go to the Colony and Jerry's and you can still have a fag in there. And everyone's like, and of course, next thing you know, plod turn up. Ridiculous. Hello, Smirking Grape. Nice to see you. Hang on a minute. I've got a work message I've got to deal with. 1 second. Hang on. Sorry, people. There you go. All done, all done, all done. Yeah, it was stupid. Absolutely stupid. What a silly thing to do. What did he think that was going to carry on and all be all right? Yeah, so on a Sunday, if my mum was busy and me and my brother, my dad was looking after us, he wasn't going to let that ruin his day. And they'd be like, right, come on, we're going around the pub. Fucking great. Loved it. Loved it. First thing, when you walk in a boozer and you're a kid and your nose is so sensitive because it hasn't had years of, you know, damage and chemicals and all sorts of things, you go in there and that smell of cheap aftershave, stale lager and stale nicotine. I loved it. I loved it. Now, maybe I had an extra association to it because my mum grew up in a pub. My grandparents on my mother's side were alcoholics who owned they were landlord and landlady of the White Swan. And so when we used to visit those boozers, it was lovely because they knew everyone in Hartley and all that area. And so when we went in the boozers, we'd get special and preferential treatment and wouldn't have to pay for anything. And it was nice when everyone knows your parents and all that. And but that smell, I just used to love it. I loved it. And then of course, there's 2 bottles of Coke and a pack of KP crisps, and then you sit outside with all the other kids whose fathers are in the boozer. And I'll tell you what, it was weird though, because there'd be loads of sort of middle-aged alcoholic women with a bit of bottle blonde hair, a little bit of cleavage on the go, and loads of married men. And you'll be sitting there with the other kids who you saw on the occasional Sunday, just watching your dad chatting up women with your bottle of Coke and your pack of crisps. And of course, you had to make that last about an hour. You could get another one, but not if you'd done it too quickly. And it was a great day out. I used to love it. I used to absolutely love it. And they'd let you hang around. You'd go in the boozer. They'd let you hang around there in a bit. You could probably get one game of pool out of it, but then they'd have you out just in case. But then when I was growing up, kids were allowed in pubs. You'd have families and kids all sitting round, and it was fine. Hello, Grim FPV. It was wonderful. Yes, Vincent. When you needed a piss, it weren't so nice going into the toilets. That one wasn't a pleasant smell. Marzipan's old man was never a drinker. My old man wasn't a big drinker, but Friday night and like Sunday arvo, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Funny old times. Weird, isn't it, thinking that? Give me a 1 in the chat if you remember going into the boozer with your mum and dad and being allowed in there and just sitting there while everyone's smoking and drinking. It was lovely. It was lovely. And people would come in and you'd never work it out. You couldn't work it out. Someone would come in, just some bloke, and the whole pub would go, hey! And you'll be like, what is it? I was absolutely fascinated by, the relationships of adults. And I can remember my granddad was my mum's parents were alcoholics, which is why my mum and her 2 sisters are. But my granddad, he'd turn up in his stolen Jaguar and he'd park it half up on the pavement and the back half in the road. You could those days because there weren't cars parked all the way down both sides, so people could drive around it. He'd go into the toilet, smoke 2 senior service or senior citizen. I've got senior service, that's it. Leave them in the toilet, walk out. He'd hit me on the head like that and go, swine, and then leave. And when he took us down to Hartley once to the Anchor and Hope and then to the White Swan, everyone knew him because he'd grown up. He worked in boozers all his life, my granddad. When he was too old to run a boozer, he was the pot boy. He'd bottle up and clean the tables. He just loved them. My granddad died. He walked out of a pub at night and a car hit him and killed him. He was in pubs all his life. I reckon that's how he'd have liked to have gone as well. But we were there. We were all there one day in the White Swan. Big. Everyone was there. So it felt like everyone was there. Aunties, uncles, all that lot. Everyone knew them because they, used to own the pub and all that. And I remember my granddad. He was so out of turn. He didn't give a fuck about the kids. He did not give a fuck. And he'd be sitting there and he'd go, he said, well, it was a fucking mess. He goes, the first thing I noticed was old, what's his name, was on his hands and knees, sniffing Sydney's ankles. My mum would put her hands over my ears and I'll be like, no, this is gold. And, looking back, he was telling stories of what pissed adults done. Now, I do that. I tell stories of what junkies do. And he was telling those stories to other pissheads, other drinkers. And when you're sort of 6, that's glorious. And they'd be saying just crazy things like, well, Arthur had his fucking hand up her skirt. The husband's sitting the other side of him talking about their fucking holiday in Peru next year. And I'm just cracking up. Just these dirty stories. Yeah, beautiful. It was lovely to see all those ones in the chat of people who used to get dragged down to the boozer at the weekend. Amazing. Yeah, well, we sat outside as well, but that was a bit later. That was when we were a bit older. But when I was, sort of 5, 6, 7, 8, kids were allowed in pubs. I don't know if they were allowed in them, but no one chucked them out. As long as they behaved themselves. If you started running around like a kid, you'd be chucked out. Chrissy was in a boozer, but without a parent. Did you walk up to the bar like 6 years old? There's a pint and a little shot chaser, please. It was our culture, and they did fuck it. Yes. Blair. I was writing an email to someone today, and how did I get onto Blair in that email? I talked about the geezer was saying he was a Cockney because he was born in the sound of St Mary Le Beau bells, and he was, right. And I said, in fairness, though, I think I probably grew up around more Cockneys because they all left London. There's very few Cockneys left in London. They all fucked off to Essex and Kent. And the sound of the Bow Bells in London is drowned out by a fucking call to prayer now. It's weird, isn't it? I can remember being in my early teens and everyone wanted to be a Cockney. Everyone would try and, oh, no, I'm from Cockney stock and, whatever. And the Britpop thing, suddenly all the middle class kids were Cockneys. And no, because my dad, he used to live in Bethnal Green. Oh, well, you stayed there for a couple of weeks is what you mean. But, I can understand you're trying to have a little bit of kudos. That's gone now. People, that now people want to be travellers. That's all I hear from the youth. I was in a boozer over here the other week, and they were telling, these two blokes were telling me they were gypsies, and I was like, okay, and I knew they weren't. There was nothing about them that made them travelling stock or anything, and it was just they wanted to have some kind of connection to it, and yeah, and I've realised that more and more. That's what people are pulling on. Kind of interesting how it changes, isn't it? And why? Well, the reason people used to want to be a Cockney was because they were a community. They had a language, they had a culture, they had a community, and there's a strength in a community. And that's why people respect, although they kind of don't like at the same time, travellers. The old bill don't get anywhere near travellers. Very rarely will the old bill go on site. It's fucking too dangerous. Too dangerous. Even if they go on there and arrest someone, those do as you likes will come and find you, and if not you, they'll come and find your family. They've got community, and that's why the Blair thing. I said, in a post-Blair Britain where we were more atomized, removed from our extended families, removed from our communities. It's no surprise that people look at communities that people who've actually got communities and want to be part of it, want to be able to associate themselves with it. Not a surprise at all. Steve Perkins was, no. Being made to sit in the car that's a terrible one. That's a terrible move. You're either in the boozer or in the beer garden. My dad, Sir Grego says, my dad never drank and now has a non-alcoholic liver disease. Very crap. That is very crap. It was weird, actually. We had Mega Essex Boy and Mega Essex Boy. We had Mega Essex. What is it? Mega Essex. Is it Mega Essex Boy? I think it might be. He's changed it to Ultra, hasn't he? So I'm confused now. But he said that he's got no problem with his liver and the liver regenerates. But I thought the liver doesn't regenerate. When he said it, I thought, I think you've got that wrong. I think when you do damage to your liver through drinking, it doesn't rebuild itself. That's done. It's finished. If anyone knows the reality, the truth about that, can you tell me? Sorry to hear about that, Grego. I had a mate get hepatitis C and he doesn't know where he got it from. He's never used a needle for any drugs or taken any hard drugs in his life. And he was like, "You're a cunt." He went, "You've been jabbing those in your fucking penis for the last 100 years and you've not got the hep." And he said, "I've got it." He said, "I've got hepatitis C." But I've also heard that the new interferon is actually quite effective at getting rid of. It's not the interferon used to take like 9 months and all pretty much chemotherapy, but apparently it's a lot better and a lot quicker now. John Palmer was actually accused of, and get this, spreading misinformation. Apparently that's why they hate me. For who? John, give us some context, mate. Unless you can't, for obvious reasons. Dawn Browning's talking about Remark 88 on BitChute about Queen being a naughty lady back in the 60s. There was some international court case. I need to look into a bit more. Yeah, that rings a bell. I mean, they are filth. Without a doubt, they're filth. The liver does regenerate, but it can't get rid of scars which fatty liver causes. So fatty liver disease is the issue. Dawn's ex was an alcoholic and he got his liver back. I think it depends on the extent of the damage. Okay. I mean, my mate Andrew, that Welsh bloke, he had 2 livers and his body rejected both of them and he died. Bless him. He was the one who went and had the prostate massage. I've been waiting all my life for that. He was a funny bloke. What a terrible shame. Hello, Tej. Hello, Free Client 01. Have I said hello to you, Windy? Unloved. I'm not saying it. Otto, change it. It's not nice. You are much loved. Disagreeing with the left equals misinformation. Yeah, no, in fairness, you're absolutely right. What's the name? Quit drinking 14 years ago, I think. Good work. I mean, you know, my mother, she drinks a bottle of wine, sometimes 2, every day. But she doesn't start drinking till about 6 o'clock. And she's 76, I think, so she can do what the fuck she wants. And she put up with me for a hell of a long time. I'm not gonna. I do say to her, maybe you shouldn't drink so much, but I don't mean it. I think drink as much as you want, Mum. Come on. But she is pretty good, you know. She does her day. She makes her own dinner. She doesn't eat takeaways. And marzipan. It's a bit brutal. Otto's actually formed quite the amazing beard. I've not been lucky in love like you. Well, occasionally. But how many times have you tried, Mr. Sump? That's the question. Are you talking about one time? You're still a relatively young man. There's plenty. I tell you what, Sumpster. Once you get out here, you're going to have a very different experience of women. Caster Troy, you knew in these parts. I knew DJ, but it weren't my fault. I got locked in the warehouse overnight, and Da Popo wouldn't believe me. Can't understand it. Not a clue what's going on there, but nice to see you. Otto Akbar. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it certainly did. There you go, 42. You nailed it there. What have we done? An hour. One donation in an hour. Good Lord, I'm losing my touch. I think I've got something else I want to show you, actually. Maybe opening with Fastbender wasn't very good. Anything opening with Bondre. Let me have a look. I think there might be something in my l'histoire. Oh, have you seen old Elaine Burdenhofter? I think it's saying Amber Heard has got a very good case for an appeal. Really? I can't believe they've gone out there making it all about gender. Only you could only do that with the case that way round. If it was the other way round and you were a bloke and you went, imagine the bloke was Amber Heard and the woman was Johnny Depp, and the woman won, and you went, this is all about gender. They'd be like, fuck off. You wouldn't even get a vart. You wouldn't even get a look in. Thank you, Chrissy. Bless you. Nice one. What's the name? Vart. You don't get a Vart for a super sticker, but I can do a manual. There it is. I'm sure I had something that was definitely worth a watch. It done me right up. I don't know how much of this we can watch, but it's actually very funny.
Evening, our top story.
Have a look at this.
Evening, our top story tonight.
This is from Salty Cracker. Okay, nice one, Chrissy. Nice one. What's the name? Hello, Rose Rowley. You know what, Linda, darling? I think you're absolutely right. They're two of a pair. Absolutely. She knows the score. She done a terrible. She didn't have very good material to work with, but the amount of money she would have been getting paid, I thought that was a terrible. Compared to Depp's legal team, they looked like amateurs, didn't they? That's an interesting point, actually, Windy. Unless someone's prepared to do it pro bono, but I can't imagine Elaine Burdenhofter, taking that on pro bono. Once you've already lost, go through all that again to lose again? Nah. Although I don't know if it works like that. Oh, Black Belt Barrister has started a petition for Johnny Depp getting an appeal in the UK. What, against the Sun newspaper? How interesting. How interesting that is. Hang on, King Corona, what are you going to hospital for? You won't catch to the end of the stream. I haven't got a lot left. I've got a load of work to do tonight. I've still got to finish this new Substack as well. Yeah, fair point, John. Fair point. This is a bit of Salty Cracker. It's definitely worth a watch. I don't know how much we'll watch of it, but check it out. It did tickle me. With all the things that are going on in America at the moment, this is what this local Hawaiian news station decided to talk about. Imagine living in Hawaii and bothering with this. Check it out. Salty Cracker, this is.
Evening, our top story tonight, this symbol of hate on Oahu's roads that should have been gone almost a year ago.
Yeah, you might remember the story that we first brought you last August. You see right there that...
Whoa. Hang on, King Corona. Sorry, I forgot. I think Little Red got cured, is in remission, which is great news, but I forget we've got like 4 or 5 scrubs all cancered up and the like. So best wishes with that. Best wishes with it. There's not much else I can say, but good luck with it, mate. Apologies for forgetting. Right, yeah. It's madness, isn't it, John? Right, here we go. Let's take it back a bit.
Evening, our top story tonight, this symbol of hate on Oahu's roads that should have been gone almost a year ago.
Yeah, you might remember the story that we first brought you last August. You see right there, that offensive license plate that we're talking about, it was approved by the city and county of Honolulu, essentially saying FBLM, or Black Lives Matter.
You know, a lot of folks called us after seeing it out and about, and after our initial story went viral.
Imagine calling the news. Hello, yes, I've just seen a FCKBLM number plate. Okay, Yes, this is my life. Yes, it's my life. Thank you. And then after the phone call going, and you can bet there was no black people done that because they were getting on with their lives. These are white allies. Oh, fucking. Did you see that? Just give me your phone right now. Hello? Is that KITV4? Fucking ridiculous. Hello, Boris. Nice to see you, son. Want to come on for a chat, mate? Let me know.
The city told us the plate was recalled and would have to be surrendered by the driver.
Yeah, we thought that would be the end of the story, but recently people contacted us again telling us those plates are still out on the road.
The Rees, lads, the Rees. I could hear them all the way across the ocean. A bunch of whiny-ass bitches in Hawaii, all upset because of a mad lad with a based license plate. That's right, fuck you, BLM. Holy, nothing's more dangerous to black people, by the way, than BLM. Well, maybe Antifa. But here you have a savage going out there, getting himself a printed license plate that says FCKBLM.
To be honest with you, John, that's what I thought would be lovely. Just get on your phone, do it in the bath. Wouldn't it be lovely to have Boris on the stream in the bath? He's a streaming lightweight, is the boy. Streaming lightweight. Anyway, where were we?
And a bunch of bitch-ass snitches from the Aloha State. You ain't got nothing. You live in a tropical fucking paradise, and you still some anger addicts over there. His license plate hurt my vagina, Daddy. Your man-made vagina?
Boris is now saying he's got his lunch on the go. I think Boris might be claiming inventing eating lunch in the bath, but let's just remember, while we're on the subject, that it was a certain Mr. C.S. Dangerfield who invented drinking tea in the shower. And, you know, I think that's far superior than lunch in the bath. I haven't seen a good horror stream in too long. Yeah, I was watching the Ayatollah last night. He had a guest on, and he said he watched an incredible stream with me and Boris. Yeah, I saw that. I saw loads of scrubs in there. It was proper scrubs on tour. I might ask Ayatollah if he wants to come on. I went on his show a while back, didn't I? I think it was during the diazepam gate, so I don't remember much about it. Nothing. Did it even happen? It's always hard to say. Good to see you, Mr. Campbell. Always a pleasure. Yeah, I invented it, 42. Great stuff, man. It's great stuff. If you can work it out, brilliant.
Pour some of that fucking sand up in that man-made vagina. Go out and surf. Go out and swim. Go out and pineapple hunt. I don't know what the fuck. Anything.
Boris, can you connect us? Because I can't remember how we got together last time. Ask him if he'll come on my stream, can you? I don't have a contact to him, but maybe he emailed me. I certainly went on his show at some point, I'm sure. Yeah, I'd love to get him on.
You're on a tropical fucking island. People pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to wear a mask on your beaches, you fucktards. But this is what you're all upset about. This is a Red Voice Media, by the way. Based Hawaiian tells Marxist sympathizers to kick rocks over fuck BLM license plate. Offensive license plate, Black Lives Matter riots, offended to the tune of $2 billion in damages. So this dude gets this license plate, a bunch of whiny, it's two people. It's probably two people. They call up KITV4, Island News, everybody, and they snitch. These fucking idiots go out there and they go, oh my God, we did a report on this? And the state said that they can't just go onto the person's property and take the license plate, but it has been suspended and their safety check has been suspended. But we don't know what to do right now. We can't go out there to take the plate, so they're allowed to have the plate still. Yes, get some of that fucking salt, bitches. I'd like.
I don't think there's a better place to end it than get some of that fucking salt, bitches. Yeah, nice one, Horace. That'll be very, very kind of you. It'll be cracking. You're right, Grim. It's all right. It's usually all right spread over a month, you know. Times are hard. I know that. I do know that. Right, let's see what else. I might have something else for you tucked in. I'm still getting work messages. Okay. Okay, right. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all something's arranged for tomorrow. It was very good, wasn't it? Get some of that salt, bitches. I might do it. I might actually do that. What's the name? I might do that for myself and use it as a little, I don't know, some kind of introduction. But there might be something else. Let me have a look in my videos. Oh, yeah, you know, I'll tell you what. You know, most of you know how little I like Herbenach Cumberflick or whatever his name is. But I'm such a fan of no, I've got nil in there. I'm such a fan of Sherlock Holmes. I actually watched, well, I had them on while I was working, the whole of the BBC One Herbenach Cumberbatch's Sherlock Holmes, and reluctantly I rather enjoyed it. I quite liked it actually. I thought there was some good doffs of the cap to Holmesian traditions. I think it was good. Yeah, I think I'm sure I went on his channel. I'm sure I did. I just don't remember it, which is rather embarrassing. Right, I think my missus is going to be coming back through soon, which is why this was going to be a short one. Let me just see if I had this other thing that I thought I had for you. Not sure if I have. Oh no, we looked at them all yesterday, wasn't it? That's right. I was going to talk about all those adverts, but we already done it. Well, I'll tell you what. I've done. What are we? An hour and 17. I'll go up to an hour and a half. I think my missus is going to be back in a minute, and then I'll have to wrap it up because we're going to have to go and find some food. I doff my cap all over that bird in the thumbnail. I'll tell you something weird actually with that, Boris. With those cheap sexy bird thumbnail trick, I just typed into the chat sexy bird white background because it's easier to clip and all that, and I put it on there, and it's only tiny, and I deleted all the the source folder and all that. And then just before I made the video live, I looked at the thumbnail and I saw her about that big on my screen. This is true, right? And I thought, she's actually very hot. And then I went to my history and had a look at the original again. I actually went back and had I surveyed the material in a little bit more detail. It was a bit weird. Graham says, these streams are much appreciated. I just can't express it in a tangible. Oh, no. No one ever has to apologize for not donating. That honestly, it's nice that you say that, but no, it's a privilege and a luxury for me to be able to, have a couple of hours free and bang a stream on and know I'll get over 100 people. It's a privilege to stream, and people do donate. There's times where it goes down, there's times where it goes up, and it's all right. It's all good. That's very kind of you, Grim. No dramas though, really no dramas. Dawn Browning wants us to keep the bar full. Oh no, I've just understood what you're talking about. I'll tell you something, Dawn, that you might not know, that most blokes will know. If you have a Tommy tank in the bath, for strange, I don't know why, but you always end up with Harry Monk in the hairs on your forearm. It's always on your forearm. I don't know what happens to it, why the flow of liquids does it so, but when you get out and you're toweling down, it's always clinging to your forearm hairs. Hello, Andrew. On this give a compliment day thing, I told my ex-wife I like her big whiny mouth. Hopefully better results tomorrow. Have a good bath for us. Enjoy it. And you know how to get hold of me. So if Ayatollah gives you a result, tell me, and then we can swap emails I can give you my email. I'll put my email into your Telegram right now, Boris, so that he can hit me up, and then we don't have to go back and forth and back and forth. Would you go backwards and would you go back and forth with me, Boris? There you go, Boris. My email is in your Telegram. All right, a little bit of manageability there. Last night, me and the missus went out to the Japanese restaurant, which is at the top of the Vatanak building, which is one of the tallest buildings in Phnom Penh. And we had salmon carpaccio, we had some maki rolls, we had all sorts of delicious sashimi and sushi and really good food. And it's a little bit of a luxury. It ain't really expensive. You know, when you walk into the restaurant, you think, shit, I kind of underestimated how much this is going to cost. And with the 360 degrees round of the whole city, but it ain't actually that expensive. For the two of us, I think, what did we pay last night? $70? So that's about 50 English. So £25 a head. And we had 2 lots of salmon carpaccio, 2 lots of salmon sashimi. We had tiger prawn, what do you call it? Tiger prawn. It's essentially battered tiger prawn, but it's not batter like fish and chips. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. And a few maki rolls. What else did we have? Anyway, what we had doesn't matter. The point being, as I looked out the window, and I had a little walk with me and the missus after eating, and I'll tell you what, they did do me a mango creme brulee. Once with tempura. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, loads. There you go. Look, Boris got it 100%. Look, that's it. Ebi tempura. That's exactly what we had. Nailed it. Even in the bath, he can still get but it was ebi tempura. So some nice food. But after we finished eating, because the restaurant was empty, because we went there late, we had to walk round because you can see it's nearly 360 degrees. It's not quite. It's probably about 270. But lovely to see the city. But I'll tell you what, I first went to Cambodia. I first came to Phnom Penh about 13 years ago. Yeah, it must have been about 13 years ago, right? And looking at it last night, I thought, this place has changed so much. Like, when I first came here, it was still very much Vart! Vart! You could get a litre of petrol at £2 English pounds 50, which is about $3.25. That'll fill my scooter up, and that will last me a month. So that's excellent, Vincent. Thank you, mate. A caprascia natif, salmon carpaccio. Thank you, mate. Hello, Anglo. I read about 5 different things. Hello, Anglo. Good to see you. Vincent said it took me 10 minutes to donate £2.50. Why is that? Is it playing up? That might be why it's been so rotten. Why is that, Vincent? A serious question. Not that serious, but you know. But when I first came here, it was, it was very kind of behind. It felt like a very, not a modern city. And as I looked out of that window yesterday, there are parts of Phnom Penh now that if I sent you photos of them, it's quite hard photographing through the window because you've got all the reflections and that look like Tokyo, from a distance. Once you get up close, they won't. But the speed that this place is growing, now there's pros and cons to that. Property prices are going up just when the stock market's gone down, which fucks me. But there's loads of really amazing markets in Phnom Penh that are just fantastic. I've never seen anything like that anywhere else in the world. And I have traveled a fair bit. You know, they're these huge football stadium size markets with walkways that are barely like a foot and a half wide, and there's no light or anything, and they're amazing. And if you go right into them, you can find things that you're not meant to be able to buy or sell, and that's always exciting. You know, we're so over-regulated in the West. They're interesting places, and you can find tailors and things that'll make you a whistle for 200 quid, and fucking Sea Island cotton shirts for £15. But they'll all go. They'll all go because they take up too much land. You know, if you, I'm thinking there's Russian market, there's Kandal market, there's Central Market, there's another one over in Kong. And the thing is, they take up so much ground space that you know the government will sell them off because they can put 4 or 5 high rises there and sell them off to businesses. You know, Cambodia's GDP is going through the roof. There's no aging population. It's Cambodia is set up to. Loads of economists are saying it. It's set up to go the way of Malaysia and Singapore. You know, a financial success and a cultural success. You know, Singapore and Malaysia are pretty good places to live. But you're going to lose things like the markets, and you're going to lose a lot of the traditional side. You know, there's so many temples in Phnom Penh. You can't get on your scooter and go 5 minutes in any direction without seeing 2 or 3 temples. And that's sad. You know, there'll be a major sacrifice when people realise there's plenty of money to be made out of selling. And I've got to be very careful here, but they're not always being sold to Cambodian people. That's as risky as I'm going to say. Andrew, yeah, it's the Vatanak Capitol building. It's weird. It's got like as it goes down, it's got like a, what would you call it? What's the animal I'm thinking of? What's the animal that's got like plates that lay over each other? Let me see if I can show you a picture of it. I mean, it's got its own fuckery. It's called the Vatanak Capitol building, and you can buy a beer called Vatanak Lager. It's got its own brewery. It's a very strange building. Let me see if I can find you a picture of it. There you go. That's a nice picture of it. But you'll look at some of these pictures. Let me get them into the old Paint Shop Pro. It's weird that I can't. There's not a very good picture of the bit I'm talking about where it slopes down. Oh, there you go. That's absolutely what I was looking for. But people, Vart again. Amazing flurry of Varts. Yeah, so I've grabbed you a few pictures of it. And the restaurant is on the 37th floor. Oh, here's a picture, which is a view from that restaurant, or from that building at least anyway. So here we go. I'll show you a couple of pictures. Let's deal with these denunciatos because that's very kind. Where are we? Zeitgeist, very kind of you, mate. 14.99. Been lurking, preparing for work tomorrow. Have it. Nice one, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh, that reminds me. I've got to say something about Pax Max as well. Right, hang on. Thank you, Zeitgeist. Vincent Griffin, another one. John Palmer is a globalist. We all know it. Yeah. It is. And why? Because most of them got killed. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. Look at China. China killed loads of its population and then had largely an economic success story, which is going down the pan at the moment because it was being badly managed. But yeah, that is a painful truth, a painful reality. But, such is the contradictions of capital. That's what I was looking for. Armadillo. Good call, Windy. There you go, Dawn. There you go, Lulu. I'm sure some other people said it. Stephen Campbell drops an Ayrton Senna. Between me being slow and Super Chat being dodgy, I keep missing my chance to troll you. So I'll give you an observation. India will never flourish, but Cambodia might. Better people. It's a weird one, India, because I've actually taken a punt on $ MSCI, which is Indian companies. But it's kind of flatlining. It's like, I don't know. If I had put my money on one of the two, it'd be Cambodia all day long. I've seen the change. I've seen it in the last few years. I'm going to show you a photo now, and it's a photo stock, so it's got loads of fucking branding over it. But I doubt many people would have thought this was Cambodia. Nice one, Stephen, for that 10-bit. Appreciate Canuto. Let me just make sure I didn't miss another one. Stephen Campbell, got that one, got that one, got that one, got that one. Right, sweet. Yeah, I doubt many people would guess this was Cambodia. This is a photo taken apparently from that building that I was talking about. Look, that is Cambodia. See that? I'll zoom in on it. Hang on, how do I do that? That is Central Market there. See that incredible building? That's not one of the mad markets that you get lost in. That's sort of more like well, you can see it's quite a nice building. It's quite a famous building, actually. It's a famous Cambodian architect done it. But that's Cambodia. Look at it. I mean, look. I know it's a bit blurry, but I don't think people think. And I'll tell you what. See all these high rises. See can you see my cursor? See that all them. That's the river there. That's the Mekong. That joins the Tonle Sap. See all these high rises there, and then come back. See all this cluster over here. None of them were there when I first came here. None of them. The city is just absolutely flying out of the ground. So there's that. And now I'll show you a couple of pictures of the actual Vatanak building itself. So this is where that restaurant was last night. And you can see that little armadillo sort of bit. Can you see one at the bottom there? It sort of comes down, goes down to the front there. And the actual restaurant is like up here, up somewhere here. I've got a couple more photos of it. It seems they like that view though. There's a bit more of the armadillo-like design of it. Okay. Now you might have noticed it's not making a very loud noise, and that brings. Oh, you've seen that one, haven't you? And there's a sneaky quick one. Okay, just in case you missed the thumbnail. There's nothing like birds, is there? Hey, is there anything like a bird? Is there anything like a hot bird? Right, now, what was I just going to tell you? Right, so the other day, I want to talk about Pax Max Gate. But I think you'd all be quite surprised that that's Cambodia. When you tell people who live in Cambodia, they think it's, you look at Bangkok. Bangkok don't look like that. Bangkok's a shithole. I mean, I love Thailand. Patong remains my spiritual home. But Cambodia's just, getting on with it. So Pax Max the other night, right? I was complaining that when I close a picture on my Paint Shop Pro, which I'm about to do, it was going bling! And because I have to have the volume up for the VARTs, yes, Marzigan. I've been having proper trouble talking. Pax Max Gate, yeah. because when you're streaming, you have to actually keep a lot of things going in your head, and you also have to be quite open so that I've been talking non-stop for an hour and 35 minutes, so you have to get into a certain frame of mind, and you're asking questions, and you're answering and asking many different questions, and you're thinking of things you're going to talk about, and it's quite tricky streaming. It's not really, really hard. But sometimes you forget you've asked someone a question. And anyway, Pax Max told me how to sort that out. I said, I wish I could fucking turn that down. If anyone knows how I can turn that down without turning my master volume down. And Pax Max told me, and then he told me again, and then he told me, and I'd missed all of these because I was yapping. Or I think because it was a call-in show. So people were coming on and I missed them. In the end, he put it about 6 times on the trot. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And then I read one of them, but because I only read the first line, which I assumed was in how to turn the master volume down, which I already know how to do, I said, no, I know how to turn my fucking master volume down. That's not the issue, and didn't read the rest of his message. And then just as we were exactly, Dawn, talking and pressing a button on my mouse, it all gets a bit confused. Just as the stream was ending, Pax Max put in the chat, it was something like, fuck, this is the most retarded shit I've ever seen. Really not like Pax Max to write something like that. He was proper annoyed. When I looked back over the stream, because I don't want to upset people, I don't like upsetting people. I don't mind upsetting them if I'm right and they're upset for that reason, but pissing someone off just because I was being ignorant is not my cup of tea. And he was right. What he was telling me was right. And so I thought, well, next time I stream, I'll talk to him. And then I got an email from him today. Now, I won't go into the details because it's private. If he emailed me, he emailed me. He didn't put it in the chat. And he's having an hard time. We all know, well, a lot of you all know from him being on the stream that he's having an hard time. And it's been compounded recently by other things. And he wrote me this email, and he was being apologetic basically, and sort of saying, "Look, I'm sorry," and that. And I had to write back to him and say, "No, on the contrary, Pax Max, I was in the wrong. I failed to read your entire message, and I think I said something. I can understand why you got pissed off. So yeah, it would appear he's not here watching this, but he did send me this long email explaining why." And it was kind of sad actually, because he sort of was giving me an out. He was sort of saying, I should have asked you what operating system you've got, whether you had Windows 10 or blah, 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 because, and I was thinking, no, you didn't need to ask any of that. If I had have actually read your message in full, it would have sorted the problem out. So, yeah, remind me if you can, people, next time he comes in. No, he really is, Steve. He's a really nice bloke, and an interesting bloke as well. So next time he's here and next time I stream, if people could remind me to say that in public when he's here, because it's important. Yeah, I think I really like him. So it was a bit of a shame. Hello, Baz. Right, people, I said I was going to do an hour and a half. I've got shitloads of work to do. This was meant to be a sneaky quick one, and it's soon become nearly 2 hours. I am going to play a bit of music. It's 7 o'clock in the evening. I've got work to do. Can you imagine still? But it's survival of the fittest at the moment. Where are we going to go? I know what we're going to do. We're going to go here. We're going to press that. Oh, cool. We've got problems here. What the hell's going on there? I want to thank everyone who donated. I want to thank Rags and Steve Cray, moderators, for everything they do. I want to thank Kevin Keener and Rags for continually sending me stuff to use in the clips and meme streams. I haven't had time for them. It takes 2 hours to prepare, and the streams tend to be 2 or 3 hours. I've just got too much work on. But there will be another one. What day are we on now? What is it? Tuesday, maybe Thursday or Friday. And I will endeavour to do some member streams over the weekend. They are coming. And I want to thank all of the rest of you for engaging and talking and coming along here, because without you being here, there's no streams, and it's lovely. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Here's your and my friend, Alex Jones. Ta-ta!
System, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive, selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin, and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we want to eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. In a blue vampire pot, and the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil, and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice, and it's self rising up against us.
Nice one, Dawn, and an absolute pleasure to have you here for the old streams. Lovely.
We're gonna stare your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
It's so weird, because so was I. Imagine. Sorry, my hair was all in front of my face. Take care, people. Go on, piss off down your own end. I'll give you a clip round your ear.